Have you?
Yeah, but Mehdi, we know that you'll play it for 20 minutes,
Yeah.
and then you'll never look at it again.
I'll get through character creation.
I think since the last time I played it, the character level has gone up at least 40 levels. I was level 80, I think, and I'm sure they're up to at least 120 now in EverQuest.
See, I went back to EverQuest 1 as well and dug up my monk. And all I did was spend the time going, feign death, feign death.
Well, Sony screwed my account up on that. They lost it. They literally said this account doesn't exist, so I gave them proof of the subscription, and it's like, no, that's gone. There's no trace of it. And last time it was played by a guy. Because I had his second. No, I went to Dark Age of Camelot. I was beta testing at Dark Age of Camelot, so I gave him access to my EverQuest account so he could play that. And when I went back to it, it's like, no, this doesn't exist. It's like, of course it does. I've got about 7 years worth of gameplay on there, but then years and years later it says, come back to EverQuest, and it's like, my account's there, the one that you wouldn't let me play for about 5 years because he said it didn't exist.
I'd send my original box key code in to get mine reactivated.
Yeah, I haven't got mine, but I think I've got the log on details logged in. But I'd like to go back to EverQuest 2, but I don't think anyone I know plays it anymore.
See, I don't. I was going to go back to the Dark Age of Camelot, but when I went back, somebody got my name, so there now is no Medivac the Healing Hoover, because when they consolidated the worlds, people got a chance to rename the characters, so some bugger took my name. So that took it all the fun out of it for me.
Yeah, he's had fun in that as well.
Yeah, do the raids were fun, and doing the first entry into Care City was nice. Yeah, till about 4 o'clock in the morning when I fell asleep. Yeah, because was it the creators that took us round there? That was great fun.
Yeah. We did kind of screw ourselves back in beta because when I started playing, there was only Albion. The other realms hadn't come out yet. And when the new realms came out, we'd been playing Albion for nearly a year, so we knew our classes. And they brought out Midgard, and we'll try out the raids. So it was us playing against the developers, who obviously didn't know the classes that they were playing, so we'd kick their asses all the time. So they thought all the classes were unbalanced, and then nerfed all the Albion classes, boosted all the Midgard classes, and then when the players started playing, it was so screwed in balance that it wasn't fun to play in any of the realms anymore.
I can't go back to those old graphic games. They do my head in.
Yeah, I keep hoping that they'll bring EverQuest 2 with new graphics, because they keep talking about bringing a new EverQuest out. Apparently, there's still one in development.
Well, there's Camelot Unchained is still chugging away, I think, unless it's been cancelled again. That's the new Dark Age.
I gave up. Yeah, I gave up following that.
Shall we have a bit of fun?
In space, nobody can hear you fart.
They can't hear you do a lot of things at all. All right, so it's been a while. According to this, it's been 27 days, which is ridiculous. I didn't realise it had been that long.
Yeah. I'm getting withdrawal symptoms. That's why I have to keep doing these Pathfinder Societies and try and find them, because I get withdrawal symptoms. I don't play very often.
So, from memory, last session, you had boarded the Calendula and had begun to explore your environment. The coming in through the spoke, the cargo hatch in the spoke, you discovered an area of the ship that had been vented to space. There was of the obligatory floating body in there. You closed the cargo doors, repressurized the area, and then began to explore. Coming down, you ended up in a very much a sort of a living area of the ship. In there, you discovered a number of signs that things were not all as they should be. I believe, first of all, you found a lot of rats that were running around. They definitely had more of the laboratory rat kind of look than a traditional sort of wild rat. And then beyond that, you also found some signs of struggle as well as bodies in a freezer that had been gnawed on.
Yeah. So we're looking for cannibal zombies by the sounds of things.
Looking for cannibal zombies. What you also know is the Calendula is on a collision course for the ring of the planet that it is orbiting. And it has roughly 12 or so hours. You've probably spent about half an hour to maybe an hour of that time so far exploring the area. And you had just opened one of the Iris airlock doors, and it reveals a continual passage going, continuing on. And actually, if you take a step forward, it will ask you if you want to teleport yourself to the next zone. Because I fixed all that in the time that we've been absent.
Do all these sound effects on the doors as well?
And all the doors now have sound effects on them. Yes. Yes.
Oh,
Yep. Do you want to teleport? Wow.
we also got 11 data wafers as well.
11 data wafers. Yes, you did. Thank you. That's what that 11 data wafers note means on the back of my scenario notes. Brent, 11 wafers, 5 something or other. Don't know what that means.
And I've got C2 written down as well for some reason.
C2? Who knows what C2 is? I don't have C2
no,
written.
CO2, sorry.
CO2.
My little O.
Okay. This just kind of opens you out into yet another long corridor. It appears to have just a singular door off it. It is lit.
Is that another iris in the floor, or?
No, this is an iris in.
Oh, it's a number 7.
It's a number 7. I'm surprised you can see that, but there you go. Yes, you can. Yeah, that's fine. That just reminds me of where you are on the map, so I can check my notes. Much like the previous sort of quadrant of the ship, every other light on the ceiling here has been shattered. The remaining lights have been lowered and dimmed. And you they flare up as you pass them, but for the most part, yeah, they're low, they're dim.
Possible light sensitivity to whatever's here?
Possibly.
You're definitely seeing that in other places, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Why do you think I've got my huge lights on all the time? Might give us some advantage.
Oh, okay. Opening this door, it seems to hang on a sec. Sorry, I am moving this deliberately. There's a reason. Just in case. Right. Yeah, okay. So it does it is lit up as you open the door, kind of lights flicker on, except for this corner here that you can see directly there. Seems to remain in the dark.
Okay.
What you see in here is a number of control couches and various instruments that would be used to control the ship, essentially. It appears you have found the main bridge.
That's good.
No bodies or anything in here.
Well, the only thing that's odd in here is a single shoe that is just sat in the middle of the room.
Is this
Is it an adult shoe? Is it an adult shoe, or is it a child shoe of maybe a twin with blonde hair and lollipops? Because that would be really fucking scary if it could be that detailed.
It is an adult shoe, probably somewhere between a size 8 and size 10.
See, what came to my mind was, is the smoke rising out of it, or is there still a foot in it?
Yep.
They're the two things that came to my mind rather than the size of the shoe.
The other thing here is that there is a monitor on the wall that does seem to have power running to it, though currently it's kind of in a standby mode. A couple of the control consoles, well, all the control consoles do have lights on them, again indicating power, but it seems that the bridge is in some kind of sort of standby mode. Yeah, it's not been turned off, but it's just not fully functional.
We're seeing whether we can
which
access
looks like
counters as to what's going on, or
which looks like a sort of science station-ish.
There are two main stations in here. There's an astrogation station and a pilot station. There doesn't seem to be a typical kind of science or medical station of any kind in here.
can we
Oh,
access the current status of the ship?
yeah. Can we see what caused the shutdown, or the last sort of seconds before that got entry and whatnot? Whether there was anything before just basically look over the logs.
Yeah.
All right.
If we can actually get it back into orbit.
If somebody that knows astrogation does that, I can look at the pilot side of things. Hopefully,
You can roll. Give me computer roll.
maybe I won't.
Computer.
I'm assuming that's electronics.
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, no, I won't make that roll. What I can do though is, can I use my pilot skill to see whether there's any response from any of the piloting controls, just as a check?
Yeah, of course you can.
What difficulty is this going to be at?
Usual difficulty, base difficulty,
So,
average, base. Yeah. Oh, look at that. Okay.
Nice.
The pair of you kind of slide into the relevant, into the respective couches, the pilot couch, the astrogation couch, and you start to kind of tease the systems back online. First and foremost, there is minimum power. Whilst there is power running through the ship, the systems appear to be in sort of an energy conservation mode. From a piloting perspective, a couple of things that get your attention. The first is drive. So engine 2 has a malfunction and is not working, and fuel is down to less than a fifth of remaining fuel. Engine 1 is functional, but not much beyond about 20% power. There are, so from a computer astrogation sort of computer perspective, the ship itself has significant internal damage. There are a number of areas that have been identified as external breaches, mostly down amongst the fuel bays. What you discover about this ship is that where you've walked so far, there is a complete maze of structure underneath, and much of that is used for fuel storage.
Right.
And several parts of it appear to be exposed to the elements.
Ooh.
There are a number of things that you can pull up. So, in terms of piloting the ship, there is no chance you can recover the ship. Not in the time that you would need to fix everything. The ship's orbit is going to decay so much that it's going to impact the ice and rock ring around the planet, and effectively disintegrate. So that it's not a salvageable ship, but from that perspective. You can do a number of things. There are a bunch of logs that you can pull up and analyze. There are also, at the same time, you can access some security footage and CCTV camera, like security CCTV camera footage.
Yep.
Okay. There's not enough power or fuel to get us into a stable orbit just to give us more time or anything, right?
No,
okay.
Not at all. You've got like 20% power on one engine and very little fuel. It's already been, it's in a decaying orbit. You would need to try and somehow get engine 2 up and running. That is kind of like red errors across the board.
Right,
Well,
okay.
to be fair, I've seen Carver pilot, and I reckon on 20% fuel in one engine, he can slingshot this planet and put us into a stable orbit.
The other one is I could take it straight into the planet.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It'll be quick at least.
Well, let's have a look at the logs, so then the video will give more context.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So you're going to spend about 5 minutes actually kind of pulling the different log entries up. There appear to be a total of 7 entries that are pretty recent, that kind of span. The last log entry, actually, surprisingly to you, is about a week or so, 10 days old. And prior to that, they kind of span about a month's worth of entries. So yeah, I can't remember how long. Wait a second, that might not strictly be true. Because I have to kind of... You were at Tarkeen, weren't you? It would have taken you 7 days to jump because it's a week as it is. Yeah, actually, it's probably more... The last entry is more likely about 2 weeks old. The original scenario assumes that you're in system when the whole thing starts. Obviously, you guys weren't. So yeah, it's about 2 weeks old.
Okay.
Give me a number between 1 and 7 if you want to pull one of these up at random.
7.
Yeah, let's go backwards. Yeah, 7.
Okay.
So we'll actually have an idea of what we're actually dealing with now.
That's a 1d7, by the way.
It's a 1d7. Oh, nice. Okay, number 5. Well, okay, we'll go for that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay.
Which I can only assume is a d10 with 8, 9, and 10 missing on it because it wasn't 7-sided. Yeah.
No. I'm going to go with number 7 because there's something else you need to figure out first. before you can trigger what you actually rolled. Everybody's now rolling a 1d7, look.
That's me. I'm just trying to see how they've done it. Is it a 14-sided dice?
It's a 14-sided dice, yeah.
Yeah.
So you kind of hit one of them at random, and what you access, it's like a sub-menu that takes you into what appears to be a series of life support records for the station. And skimming through them, you note that 2 weeks ago, just over 2 weeks ago, approximately 0130 standard time, UTC, I would call it, for the sake of argument, an explosion occurred in the auxiliary laboratory. The resulting power surge temporarily disabled several key functions. Once back online, sensors detected an unknown chemical in the air. Fully scrubbing the chemical took approximately 20 hours. By that time, the chemical had already infiltrated every quadrant on the ship.
Does it give us the chemical composition of the chemical? We don't know what it is, but do we have a diagram of how it actually works to pass on to?
Possibly we might need to go to the lab for that and maybe look at their computers rather than...
Yeah, see what they're working on.
Might look at what they were last sequencing or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, see, as a kid, I used to mix things, and I actually managed to make something with a children's chemistry set that melted through glass. I still don't know what the hell I did. I literally, as I saw it start to melt, I ran out and dropped it into the drain outside. So God knows what damage I did as well.
And the local ecosystem's not been the same since.
To this day, nobody knows how deep that hole is.
11 or 12 at the time, I think.
Or how the rats in the area grew so big.
Yeah. Were you like trying to build an alien but backwards? I'll do the blood first, then I'll do everything else last.
I just put a bit of this in, I know iron filings were in it, but that's all I could tell you. Hell, I could have made thermite for all I know.
The other thing that you get is, I'm going to come back to your question in 1 second. The other thing that you get on that warning is that it just says life support system filtered and scrubbers should be replaced as a matter of urgency. They've kind of, there's several lights in on the systems that have kind of flashing to kind of give you that knowledge, that information. In terms of composition, the system isn't very helpful. It just seems to say that in various parts of the... I had it in my hand about 30 seconds ago. It simply says 1077, 1101, 1103, 1079 and 1067 detected in various parts, both in the auxiliary laboratory, but also in other parts of the system. That's all it says. It doesn't say anything about chemical composition of what those are. It just gives you those code numbers.
Yeah.
Scanning some of the other things, there are regular routine communication transmissions of reports that have been sent from the ship to a narrow beam location further towards the jump point of the system. They stopped approximately one day before the explosion was reported.
So it could be sabotage,
Sabotage.
perhaps.
Yeah, I was thinking the same.
There are scattered communications sent and received going back at least 5 months. You've got indicators in the logs. The logs for each of these items do appear to have been erased.
Any way to recover them? Usually when you delete something, there's still a trace of it that you can get back, unless it's been destroyed.
You can attempt a difficult electronics computer check or an average electronic comms check. If you wish to try and do that. It'll take you another sort of 6 or 7 minutes, though, as you're doing that.
Average
Comms,
comms check.
comms would be
That's good.
easier. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about another sort of 6 to 10 minutes passes as you spend time trying to see what you can recover. You recover information that they seem to mirror the standard transmissions that you could catalogue previously as being sent out to this point somewhere else in the system. But there is also like sub-communications underlying the core transmission.
So hidden messages under it.
Yes. The outgoing messages, however, these kind of sub-level comms seem to be going to a slightly different location to the primary messages. Reading through these, there must have been some kind of parent ship sitting closer to the jump point in the system, and that was the target of the primary messages. These other messages, though, seem to be going somewhere nearby, but it's not the same location.
Do we
There
have
is
the
a couple.
location they're going to?
There are coordinates. You would be able to trace them with your computer systems, yes.
Right, okay.
The interesting thing, though, that you that you do identify are the incoming messages. Whilst, again, the main messages of the incoming messages seem to have been, for the most part, destroyed. You do get that there were a number of messages, the last one being the day before the explosion, to a Harris Slocum. You identify okay, yes, yeah, so I know one. Okay, you haven't found that bit of information, so there's no point in telling you that yet, because you don't know about that. Okay, there are 20 crew members on board the ship in total. Harris Slocum is listed as the astrogator. There is a record of the pinnace's movement to and from the calendula. What you don't have any kind of log of final destination or origin points, you do see a regular traffic at least once a week over the last month of the pinnace kind of coming and going from the calendula. Each time it comes and goes, there is a corresponding record of cargo that it brings and cargo that it that it takes with it, and also personnel changes and stuff like that. Over the last month, you noticed that about 8 or 9 individuals who are not listed as crew members are reported as being present on the station and arriving on the pinnace. All of these seem to be like lieutenant, captain, major. So all of them seem to have some kind of military ranking associated with them.
Yeah. Do they have names as well, or just the ranks?
They would have names. They're not necessarily relevant.
Okay.
They could be whatever we want them to be.
Yeah.
Captain Barney Smithson and that kind of thing. Tonga Balua and Yapmi Divant and things like that.
Right, okay.
Don't ask me to remember those names.
Have we got any video footage of these as part of the records, or is it just logs?
You can. So there are a couple of, about 2 or so, sort of 2 weeks out, a week before the explosion, out to about a month before. There are a number of corresponding video images of the cargo area and of the pinnace sort of docking area and airlock, where you can see these individuals, and they're definitely carrying, wearing military uniforms, carrying military duffel bags of gear, and you see them coming in, and then you can sort of track them going back again. As you kind of go through the thing, you can kind of see they arrive, they seem to spend about a week on the station, and then they leave, and then a different set come when the ship returns. So quite what's going on, it's hard to tell, but there's clearly something going on that warrants the presence of these military personnel. The other thing, though, is on a number of occasions, the pinnace, you get records of the pinnace leaving or arriving, leaving and then arriving outside of that regular weekly schedule. But in each instance, there are no CCTV or log of personnel or cargo that come in or go out with the pinnace.
Any records showing where the pinnace went, like GPS equivalents type things?
Nope, nothing.
Just out of interest, what sort of faction was the military? Do we know which military it was? Going on the uniforms.
It would be traditional Terran Navy.
Right.
Yeah.
What I was going to ask, this Harris Slocum.
Yep.
When we found the details about him, are there any pictures of him, like his works records, so that
each of the rosters have images and DNA profiles for each of the crew.
Okay, I'm just wondering whether he's the one that's running around killing people. So I want to look at his face just in case we encounter him.
Looking at the CCTV footage, approximately 2 weeks ago, corresponding with the date in the life support logs that indicated the explosion, about 10 minutes or so before the explosion happened, the auxiliary laboratory cameras go offline.
Ooh.
Coincidence.
Actually, no, it's not. It's about an hour before the explosion, the cameras go offline.
And who were working in the lab before then? Is it
At that point,
scientists?
prior to that, if you kind of wind through, the auxiliary lab was not in use
Oh, right.
at this point. But a couple of days earlier, so you have to spend quite some time kind of trawling through the records. Probably 2 or 3 days earlier, you would have seen a couple of scientists in there working on what appears to be sort of a cold storage with some vials that they were putting inside.
Right.
So we're at a decent terminal now. Can the
Yes.
sensors pick up how many life forms are on the ship?
I would need I need a sensor check, but yes, they're working, so that's possible. An hour.
And
So-
also, if there are more than 3, are they human?
Okay.
Yeah, no matter.
So the cameras in the auxiliary laboratory go off for about 10 minutes. They come back on, and then about an hour later, the explosion in the laboratory is captured on camera. The resultant explosion destroys the cameras inside the auxiliary laboratory. Elsewhere, as you kind of scan sort of in the vicinity of this laboratory, you see several crew members about 10, 15, 20 minutes later. And you can see this kind of replicated through all of the quadrants of the ship where the staterooms for each of the crew members exists. People start to exit their crew stations and just savagely start attacking each other.
No, the capital of that was released.
On the explosion that the camera's caught, can we slow it down to find a point of origin?
Give me another computer comms roll, and I'll come back to the sensors in a minute.
Oh, just
See, I'm expecting this flickering that's on the screen right below me to be one of them that's you just detected.
Yeah, it seems to be directly where this cold storage, kind of portable cold storage locker, probably about half my desk wide by maybe this kind of this kind of height. So probably about 3, maybe about 2-3 feet by 3 feet by 3 feet. And it seems to be there where this explosion originates. The one other thing that
can I get Marcus to have
Go
a
on.
look at it? And what I'm trying to ascertain is, was it an accidental explosion, or was it caused by something, like an incendiary device?
Do you have explosives?
I don't think I do. No, I don't.
Oh well.
I can have a look, but I'm not saying I can do anything with it.
Remember, if explosives is a
It's a skill of its own.
it's a skill on its own, is it? What's it keyed off?
Strength.
Hang on.
Education. Explosive.
Education. Give me an education, just a straight up education roll. Okay, marginal success. Okay, definitely the pattern of the flare and the way it suddenly happens. You don't detect any build-up or kind of electrical failure that could have triggered this explosion. You simply see 1 minute it's fine, the next minute it just seems to explode.
Reaction type thing.
To your eye, it is more likely to be a manufactured explosion rather than an accidental explosion.
Yeah. See different chemicals that eventually mix to a certain point and reacted.
The only other thing that you note is on a number of occasions the pinnace unloads cryoberths.
Experimenting on humans.
See, I just had a flashback to Babylon 5, where they bring all the people, the telepaths.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You count at least 6 deliveries of at least 4 per delivery. And on every single delivery, there is at least half of them appear to be occupied, though you can't see what is inside them.
We just know that they are life forms. Could be Varga or humans or
Exactly. And you know
anything.
Yeah, it could be anything, right? It could be it could be chimpanzees, it could be lions, tigers, it could be Varga, it could be anything.
Clowns.
I wonder if they're working on something like battle drug or something.
That's what I was thinking, that with all the soldiers turning up and things as well, it's almost like they're getting
military focused
given to them.
Yeah.
Is it possible to take copies of all these things or even send them to the ship?
You can definitely send them to the ship. Yes, you can.
There's a as evidence type thing more than anything else.
The sensors are odd. You get a sensor reading, sort of a sweep of the system. There are nine. Actually, there's probably there's probably a good 30 or so life form readings in the ship.
Can we? Human or rats?
Can you tell human or rats? Let's have a look. You might be able to. I might need a better sensor roll, though.
I'm going to do a telepathy roll as well.
Oh, okay.
Just for my own use.
Okay.
Telepathy, life detection. Reach distance, so that would cover
Yeah, you can have
up to
exactly the
5
same sort of
kilometers.
roll. Oh, I got 11 last time, didn't I? You got a worse one.
That's an average skill check. It's an easy skill check, so it's 4+.
Okay, 4+. Okay. And what's the range of your telepathy?
Up to 5 kilometers.
And it gives you the ability to just sense anything up to 5 kilometers.
Life detection is reasonably sophisticated and can distinguish intelligent beings from bacteria or unimportant animals in the area.
Okay.
It functions best in detecting intelligent minds. Shielded minds are undetectable.
Yeah. All right. So, a couple of things you get then. So, Marcus, obviously, you haven't yet let on to the rest of the group that you have this capability. You know that there are 7 intelligent life forms on the station. Does it allow you to pinpoint where they are, or just what's in the proximity?
Section enables travel sense presence. And an approximate location, it says.
There are 3 approximately located where you are.
Right, okay.
I would say, actually, you probably would screen yourself out, so there would be 6 intelligent life forms, excluding yourself, and there would be 2 approximately where you are. There appears to be 1 within 20 or 30 meters from you. There are others that are kind of distributed out, sort of, but everything is obviously within a distance that would represent the size of the spacecraft inside the ship. Likewise with the ship sensors, you can narrow the sort of the 30 odd life forms down to 7 human, 2 mammal, and the rest are rodent.
Mm-hmm.
On that sensor, can those be matched to IDs if they've got them on them?
You're relying on a life sensor, so no.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
So I've detected more than the sensors have.
No, you've detected the same number of intelligent life forms as the sensor. You've detected 6.
Excluded yourself.
Excluding yourself, and the sensors detected 7 because it's just detecting everything. And
I can more or less eliminate the 2 that are next to me because I know that those 2 are. But there's another one within a short range.
Correct.
Okay.
Seems to be
mammals as well, which could be.
Yep.
No.
That's a mammals.
Several of the rat groups are moving around the area. You can you get that sense on the. What's that? Okay.
So we can see the humans moving around as well, can't we? Are they moving kind of erratic or?
There is only one human figure that seems to be moving.
Oh.
That's the one nearby.
No, it's further away. but it seems to be closing in on another one of the figures, one of the humans.
Okay.
And not too far away from that, so you've got an area that's quite away from you. So probably the furthest point away from you, you seem to have one human figure that seems to be pacing around, another one that seems to be moving slowly towards it, and then a third mammal that is moving towards the two of them.
Are there cameras we can look at on those? If we can get into the
You
control.
can give me an easy electronics computers check. Trying to bring the cameras up in real time, you realise that they're all dead. All of them.
Well, dead, Jim.
Damn.
Okay. Am I remembering right? You said that there was a humanoid one that I sensed close by that wasn't us.
About 20 meters away.
Yeah. Do I know roughly which direction it is?
Give me a sec. I'm looking for the picture.
I'm going to look on the sensor and just go, oh, look, it's there.
So you are in quadrant 2.
Yeah, it's in the vents above us. That's what I'm worried about.
It seems to be. Oh, I get that now. It seems to be west of where you are. If you assume that the map literally, just for the sake of argument, is north, south, east, west, it wouldn't be. Obviously, you're in a circle, but just for the sake of it, on your level, it seems to be west and down.
So in a room western, basically.
Yes.
So where my light is pointing, but possibly a level below us.
No.
Correct.
Level below us. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so when we go that way, look out for stairs and things. But that kind of reassures me for opening this door. Unless the door leads to stairs, in which case then I'm screwed.
As you open that door, it kind of reveals a very tight little kind of cubby hole with a small kind of computer terminal and a sort of a very grimy glass window.
I'll look through the window.
It just seems to be a huge empty tank. You're remind me if I'm right. You're more of an engineer, aren't you, Marcus?
Yeah.
So you'd know this immediately. This is one of the auxiliary fuel storage tanks.
Right.
It is empty.
Unless there's somebody in there. When I'm looking into it, does it go down a level?
Yeah, it would go down to the underfloor tanks that run right under where you are currently.
Okay, so if I look through the window, if it was lit, potentially the person that we're sensing this direction could be in the tank.
Potentially, yes.
Yeah, right, okay. So if I go in and shine the light through, see what reaction we get.
You shine it down and through. It's empty, but there's no reaction to anything in there. Yeah, as best you can, you're trying to leverage the light so that you've got some beam coming through this grimy window viewport, if you like, to look down into what would normally be a very full tank of water or fuel or whatever. And as best you can see, it's bone dry. Apart from probably like a very well, it's sort of a liquid hydrogen, isn't it, that you use to fuel these ships? So, yeah, it probably isn't even sludgy at the bottom. It'd just be dry and clean. Betty needs liquid chocolate with those skewers, I tell you.
I thought he was going to do a sword swallowing impression earlier on with that, with all the ham and pineapple on it. Skewers that long.
It's not. It's fruit kebab, so it's kiwi, pineapple, peach, and.
He only does that. He only does that kind of thing on his OnlyFans.
Oh yeah.
Stick your tongue out and relax your throat.
Yeah. That's where the money is.
Okay. So. I'm just praying now that the people that are around here haven't got stealth capability. If I can't see them in the tank yet, that's roughly where we're detecting them.
Well, the thing is, we know there's 5 people, in the crew on the ship. So we now need to go and check to make sure they're either infected or normal.
Yep.
Then get the hell off this place.
To be honest with you, I'm not entirely sure we could be safe with either of them. So.
Well, we've got kind of logs that something's happened. We've got the location of where the hidden message was sent to, so potentially we could go there after we leave the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Is it
I think we need to move out and get searching now.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And if we can, if there are any rat swarms out there, if we can contain them rather than try to kill them, that'd be better. Because they're going to die anyway, aren't they?
Just you can run into an airlock and space the cunt.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's nothing to do there. So.
Okay.
I'll step to one side of the door, waiting for our light bearer.
Yeah, game's paused, so I can't move.
I didn't realise I'd hit the spacebar and paused you.
I was waiting for something to suddenly turn up because the game was paused.
No, I hit.
Especially when your cursor was hovering in the corridor outside.
Yeah.
You mean there like that?
Yeah.
So are we going this direction, or is that the end of the room?
I think that's the end of the room there, isn't it?
Yeah, up and west.
So we need to go out the door and west, yeah.
Yeah, the door's been closed, so it wouldn't let me out.
That's never going to get old.
It is when we start opening them and there's something behind them.
I love that.
Oh, can't open that one. Came up with a different noise.
Yes, it's locked. Should have been locked. Okay. Bear with me a second. I just need to. I'm just going to move you for a sec, Kath, because I can't know there isn't a number in there. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, the light kind of obliterates everything that's in the room. You can't see anything. It's that bright.
Yeah, correct. Right, let's have a look. I am looking for. Okay, so this appears to just be a a corridor that allows you to continue onwards.
Okay. We've got those to the south, which would
That goes to the
that lead
auxiliary fuel
into the
tank,
tank?
doesn't it?
Yeah, that door lead into the tank.
It was just an obvious. Not obvious. Oh God, a mechanic
Observation.
entrance.
Oh,
Engineering
yeah.
access. Yeah, perhaps. Well, open it and find out. Yeah.
I'm leaning towards opening the next one because that could be where the person is. Oh, what the hell? Let's open this one in front of us. Illuminate it.
That iris door slides open, and you can see an iris hatch in the floor, and there is a door beyond it.
Okay, so the iris hatch will lead into the tank.
Yep.
The other door, don't know.
There's a really big dipstick on the wall.
His name's Kevin.
Yeah.
uh,
Well, that's interesting. Just let's try the bottom door then, because we've only normally been like 3-4 meters, to the side without the door opening. So it doesn't say airlock on it, does it?
Doesn't say
Yeah.
airlock on it, no.
Emergency exit.
Wrap up warm. It's cold outside.
Thanks. I now got Red Dwarf's theme tune going through my head.
Dun, 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 dun.
Cold outside, no kind of atmosphere.
As you open this door, it is well lit. The lights are on. Standard stateroom. It looks to your eye that this could well be one of the senior crew staterooms, given its close proximity to the bridge. Perhaps the astrogator or the pilot's stateroom. Single bunk mattress has been thrown on the floor. Clothing, personal possessions strewn about. A broken perfume bottle fills the room with a flowery scent.
Okay. So, unless Harris is wearing perfume, this probably isn't the astrogation's birth.
Could be a female pilot.
Harris, the astrogation was Harris, pilot.
He watching that TV.
Any signs of life, say, under the mattresses and
Give
moving with the
me.
barrel of the gun?
I'm trying to remember. So recon, right? Was it recon or was it
I was hiding and
awareness? No, that's telekinesis.
Awareness.
There is a second one, isn't there? There's recon, and then there's an alternate. Where's my rule book? There it is. Let's have a quick look at skills. 1 second. Because you want to roll the right skill, don't you?
Yeah, I've got recon.
Investigate is the one that you would normally use for keen observation. So if you're looking to see if there's anybody hidden in here, I'll give you a recon roll. But you're looking specifically for a person that's hidden. Okay. Now, giving this place a good kind of look around under the mattress and stuff, there's nobody hidden in here. There's no body in here. Whoever was in here, long gone.
Yeah. There's no other way out of here under the mattresses or anything like the hatch under.
Yeah, there's no hatch or anything under the mattress.
Right, okay. Any indication as to whose room it was? Say a badge or book or anything like that?
That will need an investigation.
Okay. That might be the next thing I buy. Lucky.
You've no idea who it is, but as you're kind of looking around and kind of moving some of these clothes and things, as you pick up one of the jackets, a small handheld terminal falls out of a pocket. It seems to be flashing with a some kind of note on it.
Read it. If I can.
The note appears to be a log that was issued by somebody called Rael Issin, RaelIssin, designation commander. And it just simply says, Project Ganessa, remote research node, Calendula. Do not distribute without level Epsilon clearance. Project overview. Designation DSS-17 Calendula. Location high orbit. Classified planetary body. Binges subsector. Primary function. Xenobiological research and behavioral analysis. Supervising authority. Project Ganessa Division. Biological Intelligence Branch. Lead Administrator, Commander Rael Issin. Nothing else, just that. The jacket is definitely tailored and shaped to a female form.
I'll definitely keep hold of this. Do we have communicators and things? I'm going to try and take a screenshot type thing, equivalent to photo of it, just in case somebody can remotely wipe the data on it, just so we've got a copy of it.
You can do that.
So they're doing xenobiological research here. So is there another race out there that we don't know about that they found and they're doing experiments on little grey aliens?
It is possible, by the way, that little grey aliens exist.
It's the big black slimy ones with a spine on the outside and a mouth on the inside of the mouth.
Yeah.
And acid for blood.
Yeah.
And acid for blood.
Yeah.
Anal probes for fingers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't remember those in the
silver lining, that bit, but every race has got a silver lining.
It's before or after they kill you that you've got to look out for. Oh,
Brent,
so
Brent,
it's
is he still sniffing panties in there?
oh, wait.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's just a passing conversation with Brent while we're waiting for you.
I was trying to get back, but it kept colliding with walls.
But I couldn't
You
get.
got to actually move a little bit to the left.
I couldn't get the bra off.
Yeah, I couldn't get my head out of the underwear. For that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to show you to the terminal that I found. Either of you ever heard of this type of thing?
Don't think
Above
I
my
have.
pay grade.
Yeah.
They're up to something. So the life forms that we found, they were all mammals. You didn't find any non-mammals.
No, the ones I picked up were humanoid, with 2 mammals and lots of rats.
Right. So either the sensors, there aren't any in here of these aliens. They're not detectable by the sensors or the mammals. They're the other 2 things I can think of.
Don't forget, Xeno doesn't mean little green men. It could be
Yeah.
Creatures, unknown creatures
Yeah.
ever found, unknown planet
Yeah.
life.
But I doubt it to be plant life looking at the cryo things that came in. They were a certain size, so you're going to expect potentially animals or
It could be a plant
intelligent
life
life.
that like chucks out spores.
Possible.
Yeah. I mean, there is that mushroom or that fungus on Terra that takes over ants and makes them do what they want.
Oh, yeah, the zombie one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And just think of the
Okay.
footage we saw on the CCTV about them being exposed to whatever was in the air, and then literally going batshit crazy.
Yeah. That's why I've not taken this suit off yet. Let's open this door and see what jumps out at me.
Another stateroom. This one lights are off. However, from your torchlight as you kind of swing over, it appears to be in very good keeping. Definitely hasn't been tossed, destroyed, ripped apart in any shape or form. In fact, so far, based on the staterooms that you've seen, this one actually stands out as being odd. On a small side table near the bunk, which is still nicely made, it appears to be a bottle of spirit and a portable computer tablet.
Okay, go and pick up the tablet.
I'll pick up the bottle.
It is the bottle is an empty, cheap bottle of vodka that's come from one of the nearby systems.
You had me at empty.
Give me an electronics check, please. As you ideally computers, as you kind of look at the you're not able to unlock it.
I'll pass it over to Brent.
Yeah, I was going to say, pass it here. And
Have
I'll see
you
what I
got
can
any?
do. It's computers, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I just tried. Yeah, that's exactly what I just tried. Didn't work for me either.
You currently cannot seem to crack the code to gain access to the terminal.
Have we got any skills with electronics?
No skill with electronics. I can make a roll, but I'm not going anything specifically in.
Beginner's luck. You never know.
Have you tried the password for the password?
Password for password.
Oh, one shot.
Exactly the same number. Yeah, exactly the same number as we've all entered the same password in.
That's a jackpot. That's a jackpot, isn't it?
Yeah, 777.
Has it locked us out though?
It's not locked you out. Well, maybe. Well, no, you have left it to reset.
So we need to look around for a post-it note.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Yeah, looking around, there is no post-it note. What you do see though is that there is a obviously there's a password thing, but there's an alternative kind of way to log in, and it says present thumb.
Any clues as to whose room it is then?
No picture on the wall with a couple or anything like that.
Names anywhere?
No, it is very bare.
Does the tablet have a username on it or something that will give us a clue as to the name?
It doesn't.
Yeah, on the back of it's a sticker.
Yeah.
It says, if you can read this, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Okay. Keep all of it. The AI can probably hack it when we get back to the ship if we can.
Uh-huh.
There is another iris. This one is in... Right, I've got to get these the right way around because I think I might have got these the wrong way around. Give me a second. Everything has a standard. So all the blueprints for all the ships use a standard format.
Right, we'll probably going to check the doors first anyway, I think. But
So once we know what the standard format is, it's kind of happy days. Okay, yeah. There is an iris valve above you, and a set of iron, in the wall near it is a ladder that goes up.
okay.
So anything that's the hex with the circle in represents an iris above or below you. If it's solid, it's below you, and if it's hatched, it's above you.
Gotcha.
And that's the same for all ship maps.
Let's open this door then.
Okay. Opening that door again, it's exactly, well, not exactly, but it's another observation hatch to what is clearly an auxiliary fuel tank.
Okay. Do the same again. Trying to light in, see if there's any sign of.
There is nothing in there, no. You can see where the hatch is, you can see through the observation, you can see the area that would normally hold the fuel. There are a couple of pipes at the bottom, sort of valve pipes that would open and close to allow you to, you siphon the fuel and send that to the engine, but there's nothing there.
Let's check the one down here.
However, give me an engineering roll.
Not hoping with that.
Okay. You're not really familiar with the layout of this ship, so that's fine. Okay, another stateroom. This one is well lit. Ooh, the light should be on, not off. Relatively neat. The center of the floor, though, a couple of glass bottles, look to be whiskey bottles, have been smashed. There is blood visible near the bottles of whiskey that lead out into the corridor that you've just come out, but it's kind of disappears. You see a trace of it where Carver and Brent are stood, but then it kind of vanishes.
So basically, my theory is this room here and this room here, they must have been on duty when the gas leaked. And for a lab ship to have gas leak all over it, it's quite... Somebody must have left the vents open or something.
You'd think they'd be at the automated shut off in the actual lab.
Yeah.
Unless that had been sabotaged as well.
Mm-hmm.
Toilet.
Wash facilities.
Has anyone got to investigate out of us?
No.
Okay. I'll search this room.
Not a miracle worker. I can't even see it on the skill list.
It's down under heavy weapons. Middle column.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I've got a point to investigate. Oh, my goodness. I'm trained in it as well.
There you go.
Ah, do you know what?
Sorry, we haven't.
He can't even investigate his own character sheet, let alone anything else.
We haven't played much lately, so you're forgiven.
Thank you.
Carver's just stood outside, and Brent's just going, "Can't believe you fucking missed that."
Look, it's on my feet.
I can see that from here.
So I'll open the doors. You can search them now.
Yeah, I'm not very good though.
Apparently you can.
I don't have
the
magnifying glass.
There's nothing out of place to you, Brent, as you're kind of looking around this area. You can see this trail of blood that kind of goes fading. To your eye, it's drag rather than drip.
Ah.
And it's heading back towards the other quadrant where you found the meat locker.
Oh, right. Gotcha. Yep.
Do we look
Popsicles.
up or...
Let's keep going west.
Okay, so
I don't want to stick my head through an iris, sorry.
No, I don't really. Okay, that's...
We're leaving all these doors open, so we've got a clear run, haven't we?
Yeah.
As you open the door opposite you opens almost at the same time, and you see an individual stop, kind of like rabbit in headlight, and he kind of puts his eyes, like his hand over his eyes like this, and he just kind of stands there for a second.
And then he my gun and aim, but I'm not shooting. So, state your name and rank.
Thank God! Harris, Slocum, Astrogator.
What's going on here?
They've gone mad. The rest of the crew, they've gone mad. I need to get off the ship.
Bodies.
They're around. They come out mostly through
at night.
When it's dark, yeah.
They used a maze to move around, and they come out when I'm not looking. I need to keep an eye out for them. You've got to help me. Do you have a ship?
No, we walked here.
Teleportation.
That was a great spacewalk that you did. You left when you were about 3 years old.
Yeah.
Well, come, let's go. Is your ship armed?
I think you better tell them that we're not going anywhere.
How do we know you're not infectious?
Infectious. I'm not infectious.
That's what an infectious person would say.
Paranoid infectious person.
Does he have blood around his mouth by any chance? Like he's been eating someone?
Somebody's hand. Somebody's hand.
Yeah, he's gnawing on somebody's
Finger sticking out the corner of his mouth.
So what you see is a bald man with a thinly trimmed beard.
Very suspicious.
He is wearing armor that appears to be piecemeal armor. He has got a piece of an ear missing, his left ear, and there does seem to be some dry something or other kind of caked around his beard.
Oh. Is he still keeping his hand over his eyes?
Yes, because the brightness of the light that you're shining at him is affecting his eyesight.
That is intentional.
Just walk forward slowly.
What was the last meal you ate?
Chili.
Rat.
Hmm?
Rat.
Rat.
Yes, we ran out of rations. That's when they started eating the rest of the crew. That sent them crazy, more crazy than they'd been. I didn't want any part of that, so I've been hiding.
Are you not worried you'd pick up something from eating the rats?
Better that than die.
Maybe not. Over the internal. Yeah. We've seen that the rats are affected by this, and that they're a bit angsty. So I would say if he's been eating rats, he's probably got a little bit of it in himself.
Yeah.
Especially with the light sensitivity.
That's what I was thinking.
No, I'm fine. I'm fine. Please.
Well,
Keep
that
them
was
away from me.
internal comms.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. Please. Do you have any food? I'm hungry.
Here, have an arm.
Take me out of my house.
Don't put your fingers in him. Might be bitey.
I'm going to ask him who killed
Babby.
your crew members,
Roger,
and when I ask him that, I'm going to use resurface thoughts. I want to see if I can see if it was him. If I can actually make the check. The check is average, so it's a normal 8.
Yep.
Let's spend 2 side points. Oh.
You're not doing well on your checks, are you?
You're shit at that, aren't you?
He looks at you. He says, "Yes, it was them. The last of the crew. They killed the rest of the crew. Ate them." I said I had nothing to do with that. I've been catching rats and eating rats. I've stayed away from the Leica. I don't wish to tackle that. I would run if you see it.
The what?
The Leica.
What is that?
Treat me as though I've never heard of whatever Xeno that is.
Carnivorous dog. I think it's got infected by whatever happened, whatever leaked from the explosion.
Is there more than one or just one?
Thankfully, there's just the one. There is one other thing stalking the corridors. That also took several of the crew members. I have definitely stayed away from it. I believe it occupies Quadrant 1. The Galfin.
Galfin.
Yes.
Why does that sound familiar?
It is a horrific thing. A cross between... I love the description. Resembling a mad scientist blending of a primer and spider, the six-limbed Galfin monkey is an omnivorous mammal. Standing about the same size as a gorilla.
Oh.
Got 100
So-
humans to kill it.
So it's effectively a monkey version of a drider.
Yes.
Okay.
Would the D&D players, these fuckers?
Probably. Probably.
Um,
Well,
I can't. And he kind of says, "I can't get to the tertiary lab because of the Galfin. We should go and check it. Make sure it has that remains sealed."
what's the need tertiary lab?
The remains of Project Ganessa.
Okay.
And what
The-
did that,
I do not.
what did that entail?
I don't know all the details other than it was experimentation on other life forms unrelated to the primary function of the station. Only 4 people knew it existed.
Is that Rileyson?
She was the commander of the ship. She knew it existed. Her, 2 scientists, 1 security guard. I found out about it when I was contacted by, I don't know who he was. He called himself Vlen.
Vlen.
Not when you were invited into a signal chat.
Yes. Yeah, give me a second.
Right.
Do you know what caused the explosion?
I did. Yes. So he says, I knew nothing about this until I was contacted about 5 weeks ago by a man calling himself Vlen Backett. He told me I needed to destroy the ship, at least render it inoperable, give the team time to vacate the ship, but it needed to be destroyed. Something about Project Ganessa had gone wrong.
The alien life forms, were they life forms that we know about, or was it
He looks at
something
you
else?
and he says, there were times when cryo chambers were brought into the ship and then we were kept well away. They would be transported from the cargo area outside via an air raft and brought into the air raft loading bay. I suspect that is where the tertiary lab is.
Can I just ask why you would betray your crew to this Vlen Bucket. Who was he? What rank was he? And what proof did you have that that he wanted this place destroyed for whatever reason? On what authority did he give you those orders?
He had a kind face.
Yeah,
He
I'm just very trusting.
Oh, okay, why have you done this?
um he looks a little bit ashamed at this, and kind of moving towards you slowly.
So got the name, does it?
Hello.
Did he just move forward?
Yeah.
Marcus takes another step forward, take his legs off.
Okay. Was that quietly, or so he heard it as well?
Oh no, so he heard it as well.
Yeah, I thought it would.
That's interesting. What was the question you asked him? Oh, that's right. He says, "Yeah, it's a little embarrassing. Got myself into a little bit of a financial situation. Vlen contacted me, telling me he was an insider at Project Ganessa. That the project had gone wrong, had got out of control. What they were researching was not something that we should ever be looking into, and he offered me, well, money to pay not just my debts, but to retire and have a good life. If I was to sabotage the ship, bring all experimentation to a halt, and do enough damage to potentially cause the ship to be evacuated. Vlen said he would send a ship to pick us up, but I don't know if that's ever happened. Certainly not in the last 2 or 3 weeks since the explosion. Things have got a little bit out of hand. I didn't expect the crew to die. I didn't even expect the chemicals to mix as they did to create what I'm now thinking is the effects of what you've seen.
Well, there's no more ships out there that we detected on the way in. So I do think your Vlen friend has let you down.
Internal
Perhaps.
private comms. Has anybody got manacles on him?
No.
Security cuffs.
No.
Nice.
I'm sure do you have some zip ties?
I've definitely got duct
Oh,
tape.
we've definitely got duct tape. Yes, we've all got duct tape, haven't
You've
we?
definitely got duct tape.
If you've got it on you, just chuck in the duct tape and tell him to duct tape his hands up.
That's really hard to do.
Okay. He'll do it.
How do you know?
OnlyFans.
That prep work's a bitch.
Is this your personal one or watching it?
Well, there's a BDSM version where you don't shave your hair.
Let's take a quick. Let's take a quick 10-minute break. I just need a quick break. Grab some.
Okay.
Grab a drink.
Yep.
Yeah. Get a coffee.
No, I'm the same, to be quite honest. Yeah. He's got nothing to lose, really, so yeah, I don't trust him. And the fact that he's been wandering around here on his own. No, just armour. Well, we've not. Yeah, exactly. He's got to have a weapon, otherwise, how does he take out the rats? Yeah. I'll go get smoke. Ooh. No, I've looked at some of that stuff. I find it a bit pricey from what I've seen. Right. Yeah. Nice. I know. I know. It's frustrating. Gonna move, yeah. I'll be back every weekend, love, don't worry. The only person I saw Chick talking to was Dave, Evil, and I know he wouldn't do anything to instigate that sort of thing. He's left randomly before. He's done it randomly before. Like I say, I'm not going to waste time thinking about it. So don't worry. Yeah. Yeah, he did. But the problem is, Chick, when he's had a drink in the past, he tends to be a bit silly. Yeah, fall asleep. Yeah. So this guy's a bit gullible, isn't he? So can I ask him if he'd like to invest in my uncle, the prince's?
Was that actually in the book, or just coincidence
No.
that you described it?
No, it's in the book. Is there a did I put the proper picture of him? Let's have a look. You might
No,
have
you
the
didn't.
Probably just a screenshot of Sorrow.
As soon as described him, it was like, yep, there we
It
go.
is.
No, he's got an actual beard.
Yeah.
He's not Timu Wolverine.
Yeah.
He's not Timu Wolverine, no. Yeah. But there you go. That's what he looks like.
Bless him.
Okay, let's get the formalities out of the way. Could you get down on your knees and turn around, please?
We've only just met. Why? Why?
Because we're seeing lots of bodies around here that have been hacked up by somebody, and we don't know you.
Standard security protocol.
It wasn't me.
But you've just blown up the ship.
And I don't care how guilty you are or at this point in time. I just need you on your knees, turn around, and then, yeah, hands behind your head.
He will do exactly as you ask him.
I'll keep my gun aimed on him. Give somebody else the duct tape to.
I'll go do it because I'm the more expendable person here.
You're the medic. You don't have to be gentle.
So I get him to put his arms behind his back. I will then get the duct tape out and wrap it around his wrists.
I'm assuming if you go up to one side, I'll go up to the other, and I'll just basically place my shotgun in the centre of his back. Just say, hold still.
Yep. And I'm going to go over his wrist, but I'm going to do it in the middle as well, so it's tight. So it's his like handcuffs. Then I'm going to cover up his nose and his mouth.
Find a bath.
Find a bath.
Did you drown somebody in a sonic shower?
You got any drugs here to pump you up with?
I just realised, how are we going to get into our ship if we do take him with us? Can you hold
He's
your
not going
breath?
to. He's not going to, is he?
No.
Yeah.
As you're wrapping the tape around his wrist, he suddenly flexes. And as he flexes, you watch with a little bit of surprise as the tape rips.
Shoot him in the back.
Yeah.
Okay, you're going to shoot him in the back. All right, let's do this. Okay, shoot him in the back. So, roll your ranged. I'll give you a +1 DM for aiming. Don't forget you're at point blank. Think that makes a difference. Yeah, short range should also be an option that you can select. So you should be short range +1 for aiming. So +2.
So is this okay?
It's a ranged attack.
So it's Dex plus gun slug. It's a average roll, is it?
Going to be average. It's always average.
Yeah. And the DM is +1. Did you say?
+2 in total.
+2.
Yeah.
Why won't that go in? DM is the modifier, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. You don't need to put the plus in, do you?
No, just the 2. I think you'd put a minus if there was a negative, but you're not on a negative.
Right, see if this works.
Beautiful.
Bloody hell. Okay. Roll your damage. Get dark. I went out, got my glass of water, knocked my glass of water all over the kitchen. I had to spend 5 minutes mopping it up.
I used gun combat there. I'm assuming that's the same as what would come off the assault shotgun.
Yeah.
Right, so the damage is... I'll roll...
Yeah, this is the actual first...
Well, actually...
this is the first action of aggression in the game.
Roll this again, and we'll take that 16 just for whatever the modifier is, but I just want to get the damage out. So. Okay. I just want it to automate. Now, is that already done? It's done the damage, hasn't it? Automatically.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know what the attack roll was. The attack roll was 11. I don't know what the difference is between. Hang on. It rolled 4d6. It hasn't rolled 4d6 there, has it? Do I need to hit this damage button now?
No, it's roll 4d. Oh yeah, hit the damage button. Yes.
Cannot apply damage to Harris.
Oh no, it has rolled the damage. So your damage is right. Hang on, what's going on here? Can we see the roll?
Because the attack. I thought the attack roll was that 2d6 plus.
Yeah, attack roll is 2d6 plus 1 +1. Damage is. It seems to suggest the damage is 11.
4d6. I suppose that's about average, isn't it?
Yeah, with that +3 as well. So 14 in total.
Yeah. So if there's a bonus difference between the attack roll that went through and 16 for the exceptional success, then I don't know whether there would be, but yeah, whatever. The base is 14 damage.
Yeah. Sorry, I've just had to do something really quick. 'Cause there's no easy way of doing this. Right. Let's see if I can do this now. Right, let's try this. That's better. Okay. You let the weapon sort of your shotgun goes off. The Harris takes it in the back. Actually, he should have also.
I think my shotgun's disappeared. Where's my shotgun gone?
Where's your shotgun gone? What have you done?
Oh, I know what it is. There you go. That's better.
Okay. He takes it in the back, staggers forwards, then he gets up.
It's auto 2. Does that matter, by the way?
Auto 2. Hang on. Let's see what that means. Fires multiple rounds with every pull of the trigger, filling the air with a hail of. A weapon with the auto trait can make attacks in 3 fire modes: single burst and full auto. Attacks using the auto trait lose any benefits gained. So if you were going to use an auto, it would do plus 2 more damage.
Okay.
But it burns up 2 rounds.
Yeah.
So I can do this.
So yeah, he's standing up again. But I'm going to pull the trigger as well.
Yeah, he's standing up. But what we're going to do is we're going to roll for initiative, and we're going to do this as a combat. So
you want me where I was. You want me where I was as well, don't you? So I was.
Yeah.
Your rifle was up against his back, wasn't it? So you're in front of me, really. Well, all to the side of me.
I was kind of there. You were there, and he was up facing us away to that wall.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I'm up there.
All right. As with any other system, just right-click, get yourself on the combat tracker, roll for initiative. Initiative. A dex or int check.
That was 2 6s rolled off.
A dex or int check, did you say?
Yeah.
Okay.
So when the dice appears on combat tracker, how does it know which one it's using? Into dex.
That is a good question. I don't know.
Does it give you an option to what to choose?
Oh, I don't know that it is. I think it's just rolling a straight check.
Is it? By initiative, where it's got speed, size, rads, initiative, dodge, I've got a 1 in there, so that would be a bonus for the int, but not for dex, or whether or not it's choosing one, I don't know.
Yeah, I've got 2 in there as well, so I'm assuming that's off int dex. Sorry.
Yeah.
It meant to roll 2d6.
Yes.
Okay.
Because it's doing a check, right? And it should add your value and then determine how many successes you've got.
Right, okay. It's purely because the symbol was the d20, I wasn't sure whether it...
Yeah.
No,
I've
just
got
let
a
me
9,
sort.
but mine's just 0 success.
Yeah, I suppose whatever the target is.
You've got a 6 according to this.
Oh, is it rolling 2 dice and then taking just 1 dice?
No, it's rolling 2. It's rolling 2 dice, and then it's checking against a basic 8, is it, or something? And then
yes,
because I rolled a 7, which is a -1 success, isn't it?
Yeah, and I'll look at rather than bogging this down for now.
Yeah.
Okay, so normally you'd roll initiative. It says make either a dex or int check. So I'm guessing it's not giving you the option. I need to have a look. Where is it? Where's his initiative on here? Yeah,
it's on the front as a bonus.
Yeah, it's a +3, isn't it?
His is, yeah. Or his, whatever he rolled. So he must have rolled sort of like 12.
He rolled an 8, which would be a 0 +3 for his initiative, so that would be 1 success. I'm guessing. I need to look at how it's calculated it. So, but we'll worry about that later. Right. So, that's what. Right. So long as you're not surprised, which you aren't, one traveller may make a tactics check at the start of combat. So does anybody have tactics? And if so, do you want to make the check? As you yell what to do to the rest of the group.
I know at least 2 of us have got tactics.
I've got military tactics at 1.
Yeah. Yeah, same as me. Do you want to go for it?
Who's got the better stat? Who's got the better stat for it? Not just how many ranks.
The same. Mine said you.
What's your education?
+1, 10.
You do it.
I was going to say your dice roll have been better than mine. That's what I was going off.
Average success is the +1, so everybody's initiative is increased by 1, which I can sort out for you. That's not a problem. He still goes first, but there's a reason for that.
He's a freakazoid, drugged up motherfucker.
Yeah. He's a freakazoid, drugged up motherfucker. Yes. Okay. All right, so he's he's on his knees. So the first thing he's going to do is everybody has a significant action and a minor action, or you can convert your significant action and give yourself 3 minor actions, any number of reactions. But remember, every reaction you make adds a -1 DM to your next dice roll.
Gotcha.
You may perform any number of free actions. So free actions are things that are small. So speaking, pushing a button, shouting a warning, those kind of things. So for his minor action, he's going to change stance. He's going to go from kind of crouched to standing. He's then going to turn, and he's going to roll the dice and determine whether he goes for Carver or... So he's going to swing for Carver. So basically, as he jumps up, blood pouring from the plates that have buckled in this kind of makeshift armor, and he just swings an almighty fist at you. So he's going to roll his attack. You throw yourself back, and you feel the air kind of whoosh in front of your face, but nothing. He doesn't hit you, and that is his 2 actions. So we go to Marcus.
I will be saying in my head, private comms, take this fucker down.
What options do I have for minor actions then?
But minor actions would be things like a skill check, first aid, bypass a security system, use a psionic talent, get into a crew position in a vehicle, call in an artillery strike. Oh no, they're significant actions. Sorry. Aiming, changing stance, drawing, reloading, movement, miscellaneous. So miscellaneous would be a skill check to do something else that's not going to require full concentration. So spotting a good sniping position, identifying equipment, picking something up off the ground or nearby surface, etc. So mostly it's aiming, changing your stance, drawing or reloading a weapon, and movement.
Right, okay. Well, I was already had my gun pointed at him.
Yep,
so
that's fine.
If I use a minor one for aiming,
Yep.
that give me a bonus to hit or something?
That will give you a +1 DM modifier to your next ranged attack. You can, just so you know, you can aim up to a maximum of 6 minor actions.
Ooh.
Right, okay. And then I'll shoot him.
You'll be at short range when you do your attack as well.
Yeah, you will be at short range. Yes.
So it's not off the gunnery skill. On your left hand side, there should be like whatever weapon you're using. Yeah.
That's what I was going to click. I'm just making sure that I click on the advanced combat rifle and not the auxiliary ram grenade launcher.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
God, yeah. Take your time.
That's for when we're in a lift.
Yeah.
Or a lab.
So, DM, do I put +1 in there because I'm aiming?
Yes, you do.
Right.
Yes.
Short range
and then
is a +1.
And short range is a +1. Yes.
So, do I put +1 or just put in
Just
1?
one. Just put in 1.
Okay. So I'll put 2 in because it's short range as well. And then single shot. Ooh. So I could go burst or full auto. I'll go burst actually.
Yep.
Actually, so put 1 in there. Change the range to short. That's better.
Nice.
And I miss.
And you miss. His
Oh, those
moving.
bonuses.
Yeah, 2d6 +1 +1 +1, and you still missed. Because I think your scope gives you a +1 bonus to attack, to hit. Range, your aim, and your range. Yeah.
Somewhere in space is a barn door going, yeah, you missed me.
Okay. You still have a minor action if you want to do. Oh no, you took it to aim, didn't you? So.
Yeah.
All right. So now we go to Brent.
Mine's really easy if I can do this. I'm going to let go of the duct tape, reach behind
Yeah.
me, pull out my shotgun and fire.
Okay, so your minor action would be to
Draw my weapon.
Draw your weapon, and then you are firing at point blank range with no aiming.
Yeah.
Go for it.
So shotgun. Medium. There isn't a point blank, is it? Just short.
No, it's just short range. Yeah.
Short. Roll type normal. Oh, it actually gives you the distance away from him as well. That's quite good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, a hit.
Oh, that's going to hit for 10 points of damage.
I'll click the button.
So, no, I clicked. You haven't got. You've not got permission. So no, I'm targeting Carver. We're not targeting Carver. We are targeting. We're targeting him. Damage. All right. Right, can I overwrite? No, I can't. I've cocked up, so I apologise. No, I've done it again. I've misread something. Anyway, okay, he's taken damage. The damage hits him, and right. Yeah. Okay, he's still on his feet. He's looking a bit rough. Carver.
Aim.
Yep.
Shoot him again.
Go for it. Yeah, guns in this game are deadly, right? You should never ever end up in a gunfight if you can avoid it.
Unless you've got a bigger gun.
And somewhere to get in cover. I mean, there would be cover in here if you really feel like you need it, but he's just swinging his fists at the moment.
So if I go on to... This is going on full auto, isn't it? Times 2. Right. Okay.
Full auto. Jesus Christ. So, the first attack is a miss, the second attack is a hit. The second attack will do 16 points of damage because you've got 5 successes which add to your total damage. Bloody hell. Okay, so let's see. Right, I apply it to there.
Okay, why do I only... If it's 2 different attack rolls, why did mine only do 1?
Because you just did a burst, not full auto.
Ah, right, okay.
So burst adds the number of your burst to the total damage of your single roll. Full
the
auto,
right.
Yeah, full auto rolls
I was thinking
twice.
it was a bonus to hit, which is why I chose
No.
it rather than the damage.
No, bonus
Right, okay.
bonus to damage.
Right, okay,
All
that
right.
makes sense now.
As I said, I've completely cocked him up, so I don't know how to undo the cock up. So let me explain how damage works. Obviously, you take off your armor. The first thing you do is you apply the damage to your endurance. Once your endurance reaches 0, you then you then become damage is initially applied to the target's endurance. If the target is reduced to 0, then any excess damage is deducted from either the strength or dex. If either strength or dex are reduced to 0, then the target becomes unconscious, and further damage is reduced from physical remaining characteristic. If all 3 characteristics are 0, you're dead. But bear in mind, as you're getting targeted and you're having damage, then your stats start to deteriorate.
Yeah.
And so, for example, so what I did by mistake was I thought it was the other way around. You could apply it to strength or dex first, then endurance at the end. Yeah. So I misunderstood and I applied it the wrong way around. So he would be on 0 endurance. I can't reset it. It's bizarre. He'd be on 0 endurance, and probably at this point, no, his strength and dex would be down at 4 left on each. So he's very rocky on his feet, but he is still standing after taking 3 shotgun blasts to his face. I mean, this guy, it's defying your understanding of the humanoid anatomy. There's no way he should be able to survive this kind of.
He's taking quite much damage, hasn't he?
It's super soldier serum. Yeah,
it is exactly super soldier serum. And with that, he's gonna once again 1 to 3 is gonna go for Carver. 4 to 6, right? So now he switches his attention to Marcus, and he's gonna. Yeah, I think he is literally just gonna.
He's going to go past these 2 then.
No, going for Brent. Sorry, not Marcus.
Oh. I was hoping you'd get a tax of opportunity type thing then, but.
So there isn't an attack of opportunity in the game, which is worth knowing. Okay. So there's no penalty for you moving away from somebody's site. I mean, the combat rules in this are 2.5 pages long.
Right.
It's a bit like Coriolis, right? The combat is almost incidental to the game in a funny way, and it's just quick and functional. Okay, so he takes a swing at you, Brent, 1.9 meters away. That's awesome, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
And misses, and that's because he's got a -3 because his strength is right down. So he's just being very, very ineffectual. And with that. He's just going to stay where he is. He's not really in a position to do anything else. So we go to Marcus. You are up.
I'll try and hit him again.
Go for it.
Same as last time. Aim.
Gonna aim and then shoot. Yep.
Only I'll do single shot rather than burst. So roll. That's better.
That's better. Roll your damage. Oh no, you don't roll your damage. It's rolled the damage for you, which is 14 in total. I will apply that to Brent. No, I won't apply it to Brent. Wrong game. So I'm going to apply it to his endurance. So and then he still has 6 left to go, which I will apply to his dex, which will kill him. So basically, yeah. So at this point, you basically shove your combat rifle almost right into his chest and just pull the trigger. Were you on full auto then, or burst?
No, single shot.
Single shot. Yeah, you just pull a single shot, and well, actually, no, you're further back, aren't you? Yeah, you just aim and single shot.
It's
Shoot
probably headshot over the shoulder, I would have thought.
Yeah, exactly. And he drops. No, don't want to do that. I want to do that.
Well, Carver, you read that well. But I thank you for it.
It's okay.
You might want to run an autopsy on him because he should not have been able to take that type of punishment.
No, it does make you wonder what they've been working on here.
I'm assuming standard military did use sort of like combat drugs and stuff, combat stims and things like that. So
There are augmentations and things, aren't there? So
There are augmentations. I think there are drugs that you can buy. Oh no, that's High Guard. I don't have the catalogue out. Yeah, I think there are definitely.
I would be very surprised in a sci-fi game that if there was an army that didn't use them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this guy was a pilot, wasn't he? Or
he was an
Astrogator.
astrogator. Yes.
You wouldn't expect it from an astrogator, I don't think. But
No,
No.
I think it's what is inhaled.
yeah, me too.
Or from the rat.
But yeah, need to find if he's got anything on him, keys or stuff like that.
So he has a key on him. Yes.
Oh, fantastic.
It is a small electronic key. Yeah, so you've got things like, I'm just having a look actually. So you've got things like combat drug, DM +4 to initiative, free reaction, -2 damage. And reduce all damage sustained by -2 points per attack. The drug kicks in around 18 seconds after injection and lasts for 10 minutes. You've got fast drug, G tolerance inhibitor. So there are a bunch of drugs. So yes, absolutely. So it's not uncommon, but your experience of these kind of things, this is something more. Maybe a new strain. Yes, it's got a small electronic key that has a sort of a couple of bloody fingerprints on it.
No other markings, like, say, library or...
Nope.
Pinus?
Nope. In fact, it is remarkable in that it is just probably a piece of plastic with an RFID chip in it. And that in itself is remarkable because you would normally expect it to have some kind of markings on it to indicate what it was for.
Maybe it's a skeleton key for all the doors.
or it could be something for where he was getting the messages and sending them from.
Just try it on that door there.
It doesn't do anything on that door. Like it doesn't lock it.
No. I'll pick up the duct tape and pass it back to
Okay.
Marcus.
Thank you.
Pick up the duct tape,
Yep,
pass it
we
back to
didn't need
Marcus.
that.
Yeah.
You get some stronger one.
I was hoping you like cable tie him because he would have done the thing that Reacher does in the TV program where he flexes his muscles and snaps it. But it's like I rolled and he rolled like a ridiculous number of successes and I'm like, yeah, he's just going to rip that duct tape.
Wasn't high grade duct tape, obviously.
Clearly not.
Cheap knockoff duct tape from a pound store.
Yeah.
Timu duct tape.
I didn't need
Space.
stronger one. I did check. I couldn't find a stronger one.
Okay, well, he's answered a lot of questions for us, so let's
Yes, how many of them
see if
are
we can find these other.
Don't forget, you do have something on you. Oh,
We've got a data pad, which I thought that was a woman's, but I was going to say see if his thumb fits it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good call.
So you have.
Has he got a necklace of thumbs around it that we missed completely?
No, you have 2 data pads with you. One that you found. Sorry, yeah. No, you do have 2 data pads, don't you? Yeah.
I've got one that I can read, which was the one from Ray Lissi.
The other one, the computer tablet, was the one that had the thumbprint authentication. And when you press his thumb against it, you see it unlock.
Let's take his thumb with us.
I was going to say, well, do you want to autopsy and find out how he works, or just take his thumb?
I'm going to get my first aid kit out. I'm going to get a laser scalpel. And I'm going to take his thumb off.
Okay.
Because
you take his.
This thing has like a 5-second standby mode.
You take his thumb off. No problem.
I shall put on my necklace of thumbs that nobody's noticed yet.
Now, scrolling through, there are a bunch of messages that he's kind of, arguably maybe foolishly kept on here. And you can see that there is some back and forth between this individual that identifies themselves as Vlen Backett of the Ganesha Research Division. And over the past month or so, it seems that Vlen has been building up to kind of grooming him, I suppose, to the point where he offers him 100,000 credits to disrupt the activities on the station. There's a part of the conversation where Harris absolutely denies any knowledge of a tertiary lab. And then nope, one doesn't exist. All we're doing here is combat drug research and trials and that kind of stuff. He does make a comment about dubious candidates for trials, but that doesn't seem to go to. The response back from Vlen seems to be, I'm not really interested in that. It's the chirpers I need to have killed. They mustn't succeed in that research. And it's kind of like, just in the end, he seems to give up trying to explain to him that there is a tertiary lab, and just says, do whatever you can to sabotage the ship. The response from Harris is, an explosion okay? ? There is no answer.
That was chirpers, did you say?
Chirpers, yes. CHIRPERS, not CHERPA. Sherpa. chirpers.
Yeah.
Yes. Anybody can make a straight up in education roll?
Ooh.
I don't think anybody else would have any. Don't think any of you would have anything that would help you otherwise. Oh, we've got a couple of so chirpers are. They're a race where it's been debated as to whether they are actually sentient, and whether they're sentient, intelligent creatures or not. They stand about 2 to 3 feet tall. They are bird-like, I believe. Give me a second.
With a name like chirpers, they should be. And a mental image of dodos.
Stupid.
I was thinking more velociraptors, to be honest with you. But...
Yeah.
What I should have done is I should have put an image on the server for you, but I forgot. Okay, so I'm going to copy image and just try and post it in here if I can. There you go. Right, so I posted it in the D&D voice channel chat, so you should see a picture of what it looks like.
All right.
So they're kind of winged, bird-like, lizard-like creatures. They stand. They stand approximately 2 to a meter, so about 3 feet tall. Typically, from what you remember in your reading about them, they're very hard to see. They're very hard to catch. They operate around between tech level 0 and tech level 3, which is why they are. Some people believe that they're not really intelligent because they've never evolved beyond that sort of tech level.
So I'm assuming the research was the evolution of the chirpers are making them more intelligent or more deadly in some kind of way, or psi compatible, or some such bollocks.
None of that is specified in the toing and froing between this Backett guy and the.
Oh no, that's just me. That's me just surmising with the guys just going, because I can't think of any reason why a 3 foot tall amateur would need to be killed.
Maybe it has some secrete some kind of pheromone or something that can be used for battle drugs.
Well, the life sensors didn't pick up any on the station, did they? So sounds like the mission to kill them, or they can't be detected on the life sensors.
Yeah, or they can teleport.
Could be a shielded area. The surgery lab they're on about. It's shielded.
All he said was it's in accesses via the Quadrant 1's air raft port.
Okay, so is there
So it's
an
separated.
external?
Yeah, it's separated from the main station, then, isn't it? Access-wise.
Sounds like it.
You
You access it from outside through another port.
No, your summation would be that perhaps part of the maze underneath that area has been repurposed into a hidden lab. So the maze is just very narrow tunnels, crawlways, but also massive tanks for fuel all the way around the circle.
So we are getting to the stage that they're in the vents.
It's a goddamn
Yes.
Getting to the
Yeah.
stage where we're in the vents, that's the concerning thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, which one is it?
Okay. Do
I
we
wanna
look for
get-
the
I want
vents?
to get off the ship and gently push
Nuke it
into
from
the planet.
orbit.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, your estimation at the moment is it's probably going to impact in about 9 hours.
I'd say we've got a good 3-4 hours,
Okay.
and then we've got to get off.
Yeah.
We can carry on this way, can't we, and make our way around.
Yeah, I'm going to spend a moment just to reload my shells.
Yeah, reload your
Yeah.
weapon.
Absolutely.
Yeah, good point.
You've killed Mr. Slocum.
Oh no!
Oh,
How did you reload?
Mrs. Slocum would be really upset.
You would.
Combat rifle. So, how do you reload it?
Well, it's weird because it's been taking it off my total ammo.
Yeah, it's taken off my total ammo, but you know, I've bought loads of magazines, so
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know. Weird.
Well, we've said we've reloaded, so that's what the important part.
Yeah, we have reloaded. I've still got 24 in my mag.
Yeah, so I'm just looking at you. You've got a combat rifle. You have a magazine size of 40. Each magazine costs 15, and you've used 4 rounds, so you've got 36 rounds left in your magazine.
Yeah.
I think.
I bought another 10 magazines. But
So
then
are
when
they
I'm going to-
Have you not added them to your character?
there wasn't a way to add them, from what I remember.
All you can do is buy the magazines with the ammo. I think, from what I could see, there was no
Gotcha.
separate. So
Right.
I had 360. Yeah, was it 360? Yeah, 360 ammo. I think it was whatever 24 goes into there.
Because I bought
Yeah.
10 magazines of pistol ammo and 10 magazines of rifle ammo.
What I would do is at the bottom
I got
here,
15. I got 15. I think 15
just put
rounds.
9 times ammo clips available. And so I've just made a note down the bottom of your advanced combat rifle there, Kath. What you can do is once that magazine is empty, you hit reload, just reset it, and then just change that number down to 8, so you know you've got 8 left, and then just buy new ones and top it up as you need to.
Right.
It's not a perfect.
One of those. I'll be storing the empties.
Yeah.
Because I'll just load them up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's not like a very smooth integration like Warhammer Fantasy, because this is just a fan-made thing, not an official. Mongoose have paid somebody thousands of pounds to build it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But they are improving it as they go along, and there has been talk about Mongoose adopting it as their official rule set. So it's possible we'll see big improvements over the coming months. But for now, it's functional, right? It allows us to tell the story, so that's the main thing. Okay, you reload your weapons. You search his body. As I say, you only really find this electronic key with no markings on it.
Okay, so is it worth going into the empty fuel tank that we found, which is going to go down, and follow the pipes out of there? We're heading into the maze. It's going to be linked off those somehow.
You're not. You don't know enough about the ship to know if that's the case.
I don't fancy going down to a fuel tank and not be able to get back out again.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I mean. If there's a ladder inside it, then fair enough. But okay.
I mean, You're
open this door
currently.
but
I was going to say
it is lit.
there were the irises where we first came in that were like service hatches, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yes. And every so often there are small service hatches in the wall paneling and stuff that you would be able to unscrew and climb into, which will take you into the maze, not necessarily into the fuel piping.
Your calls, guy. I'm just here to keep you alive.
I've opened this door right next to me, but everything's black.
Oh, Area 12. Sorry, yes, you have. My apologies. Yeah, it is dark. The lighting fixtures have been shattered. The stateroom itself violently torn up. Desk ripped from wall and smashed across the floor. Bunk smashed into pieces. Mattress missing.
Ooh.
I think I opened the doors. Brent now searches them because we know that he can.
And I just look pretty in the corridor.
Yeah, you keep watching. Yeah, yeah, that works.
Okay, put your light in if you can. Judge any token.
I can't rotate the figure. Zed does that.
Ah.
I don't know how to rotate it if I can.
There you go. Yeah, say it. You know, with Carver just shining the torch around in here, it is a mess. Everything's been destroyed, wrecked, pulled apart. There's no sign of the mattress. That's something you've seen in other staterooms. The soft furnishings, the mattresses are missing.
Maybe the buildings themselves are den somewhere.
Yeah,
Oh,
these chirpers are making a nest.
Could be using it for soundproofing.
Could be.
Both Brent, give me an investigation roll.
Yeah, I've just got the recon file. I'll spot things, but you search things.
Give me a recon roll.
Yeah.
Nice.
Beautiful. Okay, so I'm just going to pull you back. I'm just going to remember who's who. That's Carver. So let's pull you back to here. Here. So as you're about to leave, and Marcus, and you kind of swing your torch around, something looks odd on this sort of paneling here. It's a slightly different colouring to the rest of the paneling.
Okay. Brent, what's that there?
It's a wall panel.
Doesn't look right. Yeah, it doesn't look right. I'll go in and take a look at it. See if I can lever it open or something. Get a knife out.
Yeah, prod and pull it.
Prod and pull it. You prod and pull, and eventually you're able to force the panel open. It seems to be a small hatchway that leads to another maintenance shaft that heads downwards.
Oh.
No, I think that's wrong, that prod and pull it, because I think it was twist it, pull it, and bop it.
Yeah.
Those were the 3 options.
Were there any signs in this room as to whose room this was?
No.
Okay.
None whatsoever.
I'll shine the torch down the ladder leading down and...
Yep, showing the torch to the ladder leading down, it just seems to go down into what you assume is this thing that Slocum identified for you as the maze. You can see at the bottom a small... Oh, okay. Maybe not. Maybe that's not what it is. It doesn't matter. That's what it is for now. A small kind of yeah. So according to this, it's actually machinery. I think is what that icon means. Anyway,
I
it doesn't
can't see an
matter.
icon. I can just see black at the moment.
Yeah. So actually, no. We'll set it as it should be. It's it would be machinery for this part of the ship. Some piping and some ductwork that's been kind of hidden behind a false panel for no real reason. But what you do discover, sort of underneath the piping, is another small tablet.
Okay. Pick it up and hand it to Rant. You got the thumb, just in case.
Doesn't need a thumb. It kind of, as you pick it up and kind of touch it, the screen pops to life. There are a couple of, there seems to be an audio log as well as a separate kind of text file on this thing.
Play the audio log.
The audio log says this. It appears to be a woman speaking. Audio report 27. They're communicating. Just chittering. It's code. It's spectral. We ran it through Terran naval algorithms and it mapped to a Class 3 distress signal. I don't think we're studying chirpers anymore. We're studying what's left after something took them. Subproject 4C, Chirper Behavioral Drift. While intended as a study on low-level sentient behavior, Subproject 4C observed increasingly anomalous patterns within Chirper specimens received from, and it just has the word redacted at that point, deep-range digs. Unexpected behavioral shifts include coordinated movement patterns, synchronized chirping resembling communication protocols, aggression uncharacteristic for standard chirper baselines, psionic echo activity during dormant phases. Notable incident. Tech specialist Halvors was attacked by a specimen during routine neurological testing. Specimen put down. Autopsy on specimen revealed unusually dense cranial structures and traces of crystalline fusion in neural tissue.
Interesting.
Turn to Brent and go on.
It's all that's on there. A bunch of other entries seem to have been deleted, and as you kind of look through them, they have been properly purged.
Could I use my medic skill to try to translate that into proper English?
Sure. So which one are you trying to translate?
It's more the
Subproject 4C. Looking at it, you get the sense that for some reason during testing, whatever this Project 4C was, whatever it was doing, it was looking at multiple chirpers in at the same time, taken from some location or other that, for whatever reason, the project team didn't want the location to be specified. There are places where you absolutely know chirpers exist, by the way. It seems like whatever studies they were doing, whatever tests they were doing, for some reason, multiple chirpers all seem to become coordinated, moving at the same time. synchronized in their talking, their chirping, their communication. Their brain waves exhibited stronger psionic activity than would be expected. And then the odd one is this, like, they're not a particularly aggressive species. Clearly, whatever they did triggered some kind of latent aggression in them. Enough that one at least tried to attack one of the tech specialists, and it was so bad that they clearly had to put it down. And when they autopsied the creature, they found things in its brain that shouldn't have been there.
Yeah, so I'm thinking the dense cranial structures were protection. Or does it mean brain matter is denser than normal? And that's where the psionic came from, maybe.
It could be both.
Yeah, so the crystalline fusion in neural tissue.
Could be.
Maybe it's some kind of parasite in the head.
I don't get that bit in the audio report. I don't think we're studying chirpers anymore. We're studying what's left after something took them. What took them? But they were here all the time, weren't they? So I don't understand what that means.
Unless they were experimented on before they came here.
Any other bits of log associated with that audio report seem to have been wiped. It's like a fragment of a bigger log.
But it looks as though they were sending out a distress signal because they were being experimented on. And it was something they started doing because of that. I just don't get that. What's left after something took them? I'm not sure about the phrasing of that.
Yeah, I don't think we're studying chirpers anymore.
Studying what's left after something took them.
You
Need
to keep investigating.
I can only think. I don't know. I can only think that that's something like a spatial anomaly that's gone past the actual station, or something that's alive.
Yeah, maybe a parasite.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. So I mean, it's like these crystal things in the brain. That's a trace of crystalline fusion in the neural tissue.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Somebody or something experimented on them and implanted the crystalline or something. Like I was saying, Gray's kidnapping and experimentation with these. They were taken to be checked out, but they'd already been taken and experimented on beforehand.
Yeah, I think we could definitely keep the tablet, and I think it definitely is worth more investigation into this, just to report back anyway.
Yeah, I still think we should see if we can find these chirpers if there's any left. We've got to find a way to get to this secret lab first.
Yeah, well, let's tread softly and carry a big stick.
Right.
That's what this one with the trigger on it is.
As you open the door, you are greeted by a very strong smell of decay and rot. Over, literally opposite the door, curled up in almost a fetal position, back to the door, appears to be the remains of a body. There is this back wall here is a huge sort of almost like a big airlock door, big enough that you could ride an air raft or a similar kind of small grav vehicle into it.
Okay, what kind of body is this? Humanoid?
It looks humanoid from where you are. Yep.
Bring your torch.
After,
Let's have a quick look.
yeah, after you mentioning the wolf and the drider type thing, I'll just checking whether it's something else.
As you get closer, you can see that the body is wearing kind of like a grey overall, sort of a traditional kind of almost standard non-military jumpsuit with the word Willow Dawn emblazoned across the back. It appears to be a woman.
And dawn is in the time of day.
DAWN, yes.
Yeah. Okay, I'll take out my medic kit and just examine it to see if I can see any cause of death or.
You don't even need to do that. As you kind of roll her over, she has started to putrefy, but you can see a number of stab wounds in her chest, with defensive wounds along her arms.
You missed the chance for a rat to come out of her stomach.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Check for any.
Sherpa.
Search her for any tablets or keys or something.
She's got absolutely nothing on her other than. I mean, nothing. No identification, no hand terminal, no rings, no piercings. She probably would have had ears pierced at some point, but there's no piercings in there. No markings whatsoever. And just the jumpsuit with the word Willow Dawn on the back. And again, you've been travelling a while. That's typical. The crew would often wear a jumpsuit with, if it's an industrial or commercial liner, would probably with ship's name emblazoned on the back.
Gotcha. Make a note of
So
that.
it's not. It wouldn't be usual for a person to have their name emblazoned like this across the back of their jumpsuit.
It's
Put it that
just,
way.
Yeah. Identification of what ship they're from. Is there a
Most.
viewport through the airlock?
There is a viewport through the airlock.
Let's have a quick look.
It is going to be facing outward, I think, behind the ship. And so all you can see as you look back is the ring sort of just off the periphery of this planet, and the ship is kind of at a slight angle. You might be able to see, I don't know what I did. I managed to trigger Siri on my watch. I'll tell you, it's very weird. You could probably see the sun as a very, very tiny little dot in the distance. Because remember, you're outside of the habitable zone of the system that you're in. So several kind of AU away from the sun itself. And I think at that point, because I'm getting tired, we'll leave it there. Actually, no. We'll do one more. We'll do one more room because I think we can finish this quadrant off if you do the next room.
So there was going to be a cliffhanger that you want to drop on us.
No. I'm entering into this room as you open the door. It's clearly a cargo bay. There is a light that will come on as you walk in. Sorry, I hadn't put the light in there, which is why I couldn't do it. It appears to be approximately, to your eyes, about 20-ton storage capacity. Bare metal walls, tie-down fittings on the ceilings and floors. This wall here. Oh, I see. That's how it works. Got it. Right. So this wall here is a sliding wall. So there would be a viewpoint on the back, sliding wall for the air cart or raft to come out of, and then this is the actual cargo door. I didn't read that properly. The idea clearly to your mind is, you could float out, head to the pinnace, pull stuff out of the pinnace, or another ship could come alongside and potentially you could ferry bulky objects between here and that thing. What grabs your attention, though, are there are a number of crates, storage containers, etc. Most are empty. Several that all of them are indicating that they are scientific instruments or contain scientific instruments of various kinds. A couple of the crates have been pulled open, and there are bits of MRE ration packs and stuff scattered around those crates. The rest of the crate there, though, is empty. The other thing is, shoved over against the bulkhead, not too far away from where the cargo doors are, sit 5 empty cryo berths.
Oh, they're empty.
All 4 of the cryo berths are closed. 1 is open. The one that it is open has Willow Dawn stenciled on the side of it.
Right. Are they inside the cryo tube? Do they have any padding for what's been inside? So is it like human size or?
I mean, it's a cryo berth. It's exactly what you would expect as a low berth cryo berth, right? So one of the things that you can do if you're really hard up for cash is you can basically convert your cargo space of a ship to take cryogenically frozen passengers, and so they bring them in on these cryo berths, already frozen. The problem is that why most people don't do it is there's a high risk that they die in transit, and there goes your payment for getting somebody from point A to point B. But yes, so these are exactly what you would expect to see. The other 4 are all the same, but they're all empty and have been closed. There's nothing, and there's no kind of writing on the side of them.
Do they have like a terminal on the side? Because I assume they're computer controlled.
They have a computer controlled. Yeah, they have a terminal on the side. Yes.
So can Brent pull off any data of what was in it? Historic data of what was in it when they were put in, what the person was.
Give me a computer roll.
Certainly.
And are they still usable? They're not being damaged in any way. We could salvage them if they're still usable, type of thing.
I have no idea. Sorry.
Hero point.
There isn't a hero point. Wrong game. Yeah. If there was, there is. So the one that's open, you can still get the information off. It has been programmed for a approximately 5'10" female of about 50 kilos. Kind of matches the woman's corpse in the other room.
Gotcha. And this is a Willow Dawn one as well, isn't it? So
that's the Willow Dawn one. Yeah, the other ones you can't get any information out of them. Either they've been purged and cleaned down, maybe ready to be reused, or they just haven't been used for quite some time.
Okay.
Just a
Anything in the other?
If we find a scientist that we can capture, maybe we can pop in here and take him back.
Okay.
And I think at that point we will call it a night.
Awesome.
Because you have explored most of Quadrant 3.
That was
okay.
awesome.
The other cargo containers with scientific equipment, there's none of that salvageable. It's all empty.
You would be able to get probably 2 tons of scientific equipment if you want to.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Just bear in mind, the ship is crashing. You are on a limited schedule, so getting it off is going to be the challenge, but you can do it.
Well, there's no air car in here, but there's
There is no air car, no.
there's a
We have one though.
airlock type thing of those, and so just
There is an airlock, yes. You could shove them out the airlock.
open the airlock, push the those, and then try and scoop them up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can always get them
But
when we
like,
leave.
Oh yeah, I wasn't thinking now.
I hope you enjoyed this evening. Welcome back, everybody.
Yeah.
Yep, very enjoyable.
Yeah,
And
Indeed.
that combat was scary.
Very scary. It's like,
Yeah.
as you saying,
Well-
combat is very deadly. It's like, no, just die, will you?
I'll shoot him in the back from point blank range. I'll do a lot of damage. He gets up.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.